Hi, everybody, and welcome into Chatting Celtics and Red Sox this evening. And I want to welcome in Pat, who is wearing his green, must be feeling really good about everything for the Celtics here in game three. So we're here to break it down. Brendan is off for a little while, he's a traveling man. Pat is joining here from Bay State Sports Pod. I'm representing the Face the Facts end. Pat, how's it going? Feeling good tonight
Oh,
about the Celtics?
we're feeling great, Nick. We Celtics with a big win. Celtics looking good. Back to defense. Back to feeling good. Back to looking good. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, it was one of those games where there was a lot of chatter. There was a lot of talk about what was going to happen in game three with the Celtics traveling to Cleveland and everything and taking on the Cavs. The Cavs just punched the Celtics in the mouth on Thursday night at the Garden. Again,
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming that recurring theme where teams like the Celtics and the Bruins at the Garden are struggling to get victories in their home arena or home rink. Why that's the case, I don't know. I hate it. It's got to stop. However, they can get the job done on the road, and that's what we have seen. My big takeaway here from this evening, and much like we do with yours, was trying to figure out what we would see out of Jayson Tatum in this game, especially after the game for game two with that post-game conference and everything that he was able to talk about. Oh, don't worry about it. We will be fine. It rubbed people the wrong way. I don't know about you, but I didn't give you that warm and fuzzy feel with him after he talked.
No, it definitely didn't give you that warm and fuzzy feeling, especially when it's not like last game was the first game he's been doing that with the playoffs. He's been
Yeah.
doing this all playoffs. He's been kind of underachieving. I mean, granted, it's Jayson Tatum. He's still going out there and getting 20 points and a million rebounds and a couple assists. But at the same time, like, you're Jayson Tatum. You got to be leading this franchise. You got to be the face that everyone looks up to and goes, Jayson Tatum got his. Look at Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's been getting his since the beginning. You can even throw it back to the Heat where they didn't have Jimmy Butler, but all of the guys that were supposed to be that guy, you can look at Bam, you can even look at Tyler Hero, who is okay. But they got the points that they were expected to have, and Jayson Tatum was relying on Derek White and Jaylen Brown to carry the load. That can't be the case. If you're Jayson Tatum, you got to be Jayson Tatum. If you want to be the face of the franchise, you got to lead this team.
I'm glad you also mentioned the other guys, and one of those should be 1B. 1A Tatum, 1B should obviously be your Jaylen Brown type. Jaylen Brown, I'm going to echo what they said on the broadcast from everything there, had one of the more quiet productions of the night, delivered you 28 points, was very solid with everything shooting wise on the night. That is what you need. It's like your Batman and Robin. I'm going to use that as my example tonight. Batman is your Tatum, Robin is your Jaylen Brown. And that tandem together was able to get you over the hump and get you that solid win here for game three. You also can't discount any other production, especially from True Holiday. I thought that also was a big help, specifically in the first half of the game, where I still felt like Tatum and Brown were in a way trying to still figure things out a little bit. I thought True Holiday was able to come through in the clutch and get some points early on to kind of take that pressure away a little bit.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, like you're saying, I mean, JB and JT turned it around towards the end of the game. Jayson Tatum looked real good in the first. He did. Second and third, kind of falling off. But that's kind of where Drew Holiday came in so clutch, is that he can kind of fill in those gaps where, you know, if Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are getting doubled and they're having tough defensive opportunities, you can have a guy like, especially with Kristaps out, because Kristaps is supposed to be that guy, that third guy that gets you those points. But now that he's out, you got to look around your bench. Well, I shouldn't say bench because they're all starters, but you got to look around your team and say, who's that next guy? Who's going to help us get through those points where Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown aren't scoring? It's been Derek White. Derek White hasn't been scoring, especially tonight. I don't know the exact stats, but
I think he
He
only
wasn't
had
hitting like
12
he has
points on
been.
the night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
just
12
to look at
points.
his points, he was only 4 for 13 from the field. Only had 12 points in the night. His plus minus on the night was a plus 13. Don't really love those numbers there, but you also didn't have to rely upon him that much in this game. So if he had to have an off night, this was a night to have an off night.
And that's where the beauty of having a Drew Holiday on the team comes from. Derek White's not having an off night. Drew Holiday has a good night.
Yeah, they pick each other up.
Exactly, but you can't have that with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's got to be Batman.
No, they
and
have
Robin.
to show up.
Exactly. They have to show up. They have to lead this team because without them, you're not getting that Larry O'Brien trophy.
And that's very much needed. It is, because it's kind of like nut up or shut up time. We're all sick and tired of hearing about, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, they're the best tandem, they're superstars, yada yada. I don't know if you've heard me before with Brendan and everything talking on the pods that we do. I don't look at them as superstars yet. I don't. What have they won? Nothing. You know what they've won? Shoe endorsement deals. All-star appearances. All that stuff. I look at that as more secondary stuff. That's great for your personal collection and accolades. That's fine. But fans here in Boston, you have the organization, you Boston Celtics, have the longest drought out of all of the teams between the Bruins, Celtics, and Bruins, Patriots, and Red Sox right now. Celtics have not won a championship since 2008. I sound greedy, selfish, and nasty when I say it, but you know what? I'm craving for it. It's time to do it again.
Sports.
That's all what it is. Spoiled, rotten kids. Like, we grew up here in the 2000s and everything, and we're spoiled rotten because all we want to do is championships. Well, that's because we like to call it as we see. And when we don't like what we see, we'll call it right out. Shining star of the game. Who's your star of the game?
Honestly,
spotlight of the night.
It's kind of a cop-out, but I got to give it to Jayson Tatum. He's been having a couple bad nights in a row. He, as much as people want to say, oh, yeah, it was just the last game, it wasn't just the last game. He's been off for a while. He's been missing free throws. And let me tell you, free throws, they're free. And you can't be
make them.
And he's been missing those. He's been missing shots he normally makes. He seems like he's back. He's kept the defensive side of the game high all the last two, this series and last series. But we need the scoring from Jayson Tatum. He's not a defensive guy at the baseline of it. He came back and showed everyone, I'm back. I'm a force to be reckoned with. Him and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's been good through the playoffs. Jayson Tatum hasn't been less good. So my star of the game is Jayson Tatum, just because he came back and showed the entire NBA, hey, it's not just Donovan Mitchell in this series. I'm back. I'm here to play.
I'm actually going to go with Jaylen Brown for my guy here tonight. And I'm going to go for that because Jayson Tatum can be as great as he wants. He can score 30 and everything, but you also need contributions from your other guys on your team. When you can go neck and neck together and getting yourself as close to you can to the amount of points that you carry your team in a game, that's when you know you're clicking and things are going right. I liked his production there because that showed me that you got another guy that you can count on. And having that tandem together leads you to victories. And this was one of those games throughout this entire playoff run that we've seen with those two absolutely helped lead you to victory here tonight. And I need to see more of that. Those are your big money guys. Those are the ones that you pay everything, the kit and caboodle to. They got it done tonight. So proud of them. But Jaylen Brown is my guy. Now we have to go with who we're calling out. Who do you call out tonight?
Derek White.
Okay.
He's been fantastic on defense. That's his bread and butter. That's what he knows best. But now he's the Celtics, and the Celtics need more out of him. I mean, he had a horrible shooting night tonight. I mean, I know he had a couple points, and he had a bunch of good defensive plays. Defensive plays, at this point, I expect that out of Derek White. What I now expect out of Derek White is to have some productivity on offense. If you're taking a million shots, you're going to start looking like Marcus Smart. We don't need another Marcus Smart.
Mhm.
I'm the biggest Marcus Smart guy. Forever and always will love that guy. But I don't need another point guard chucking up threes when he's not hitting them. He's got to hit them.
That's a great take right there. I'm actually going to go with Al Horford here tonight because Horford is the guy where if you are out a Kristaps Porzingis for an extended period of time and you need that veteran leader to contribute and to get clutch buckets and everything, he couldn't hit a broadside of a barn tonight. Nothing. He had 2 points on the night, folks. I hate calling out Al because I love the character, the demeanor, and everything he means to the Celtics. But that tonight was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather seen more minutes from Hornet or Sam Hauser in certain roles from that, because Al needs to be a leader here. Yes, he can lead, especially on the defensive front, and doesn't have to make it all shiny with the score sheet. I'm looking for something in the little of 8 to 15 points a night of some sorts. But anything less than that, I have to question the move on why he's even in the lineup at times. And that's painful to say that because I like Al Horford so much. So I don't mean to call you out, Al. I'm not going to cry about it, but I hope you don't either. But please, give me a better game 4, pal. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Al. That's a great take. And there was points in the game, even when Luke Cornett came in. I mean, he had an alley-oop from Tatum. He had Cornett, that is, had an alley-oop from Tatum.
We always
Cornett
want to
was
say
playing
Hornet.
well.
He's got one of those names we want to call him a Hornet, but he's not.
No. No. But still, I mean, he's a great.
He was stinging tonight. He was real stinging. Yeah,
he was
stand away
stinging tonight, and I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't know why Joe didn't put him in more, and I don't know why he didn't
Coach
put my
Joe
guy Sam
had a
Hauser
raid
in
at him.
more. Great take. Both those guys should have been in more than Al Horford. And like realistically, if this goes to 7 and KP isn't healthy, we're gonna need Al healthy because let's be real here. Al's that guy that can get between 10 and 15 points a game. But he needs to be rested because let's be real here. He's getting old. He's not the guy he used to be. He needs to be healthy. Joe needs to mix in and have more trust in Luke Cornett. And I think especially when Mobley is hobbled, as he was this game, and when he was out for extended minutes, as he was this game, and as the series goes on, as Mobley gets tired, because I can't sit him because we roast him when he's not in.
Yep.
You need Cornett in there when Mobley's not in the game, and just for the sake of Al Horford being a longevity player rather than tonight, we need him.
Completely agree with you on that, Pat. Again, Celtics will play again on Monday night. We now take a 2-1 series lead in this series. They'll play again in Cleveland on Monday night. Before we wrap, the Red Sox are your backseat drivers right now. But they did win today by a final score of 4-2 at Fenway Park this afternoon. Cooper Criswell was your starter. He actually went 5 innings. I'm not going to say he's earned a starting rotation spot just yet because you severely lack depth right now on who's going to be starting and everything and injuries and everything from that. But so far, the small sample sizes look pretty promising. The thing that stood out to me most on today's game was Raffy Devers. Finally, Pat, the Red Sox wanted to actually hit with runners in scoring position. Hallelujah.
Crazy
Hallelujah.
thing.
It's just amazing. You hit the ball and it goes off a wall. That's just what happens sometimes at Fenway Park when you want to actually do your job. Shocking.
Yeah. Especially when you're the highest paid player on the team. It's nice to see you're producing.
Yeah. Get you hit. The Red Sox will conclude their series against the Nationals tomorrow afternoon. The Bruins will be back in action for a, should I even say it, must-win game tomorrow night without Brad Marchand. He is out in concussion protocol, will probably not be good to go until after Game 5. That scares the living daylights out of me right now. We'll see what happens on that front, but this could be a series-altering shift if the Bruins do not get the job done tomorrow night. Final thoughts, Pat, before we wrap.
Celtics in 5. Hopefully the Red Sox can pull it together.
True gentleman sweep. I don't really either. I don't. At this point in time, Your owner doesn't care. I'm having a hard time even sitting through even an inning to watch this right now.
Painful.
Even an inning. It is painful. Yeah. Yeah, painful. And that comes from a lifelong, passionate fan of the Sox. I've lost my patience.
And, I mean, we've made some good plays. We've made some good team moves. But, hospital Red Sox on top of mediocre play, it's a little scary.
I'm in no rush to head to Fenway, I'll tell you that.
Nope. Well, tickets are cheap.
Yeah, I wonder why.
John Henry would probably appreciate that.
You just throw them out in the street and you'll get lucky and get a golden ticket. That'll do it here for Pat and I this evening for this breakdown of a great Celtics victory here tonight in Game 3. Once again, the final score was 106-93. Pat, want to thank you for joining. We hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. But before we wrap, happy Mother's Day to all you lovely mothers who are either with us or aren't. This day is for you tomorrow, and we salute our amazing mothers for all they do for us. I miss mine. See you all soon. Have a good rest of your weekend.